What's going on, my fellow A-Plusers? Welcome back once again to a brand new episode. It is I, your host with the most, Adam Perez, set to go ahead and bring you guys some new information in regards to the DC television world. It's been a while since we've actually had ourselves an Arrow series. Unfortunately, that series did come to an end with season 8 last year. And really one of the biggest questions that's been on my mind certainly has been, are we going to see some of these characters utilized again, and in what fashion? Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we might have that information for you. So let's go ahead and dive into the news. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for certainly joining us today in the middle of the week. Certainly hope your week has certainly been going fantastically well. But we had to do a video today, guys, because we'd love to keep you up to date in regards to what's going on in the DC television world, especially with a lot of our shows set to return for 2021 this upcoming January. But one of the characters from the Arrow season that we haven't seen since its finale is that of John Diggle. That's right, Mr. David Ramsey himself has been relatively quiet ever since his departure in Arrow season 8 wind up ending, but it definitely seems as though the CW and Warner Brothers have bigger plans for John Diggle certainly going forward. So let's go ahead and break down this news, ladies and gentlemen. This comes to us from Deadline.com, saying that David Ramsey set to direct as well as return as John Diggle and a mystery character in the CW's Arrowverse. So let's go ahead and break down this article. It says, exclusive, David Ramsey will be busying himself both behind and in front of the camera for the CW. Ramsey, who most recently starred in Arrow as John Diggle, aka Spartan, will return to direct 5 episodes in the DC universe, including the new series Superman and Lois, along with Supergirl. Additionally, Ramsey will guest star in 5 episodes across the Arrowverse, returning as fan favorite John Diggle in Superman and Lois, Supergirl, The Flash, and Batwoman, along with a mystery role in DC's Legends of Tomorrow that is being kept very much under wraps. It did say Ramsey made his directorial debut in Arrow in 2018 and directed a second episode during the series' final season. I personally don't recall the 2 episodes that he did direct, but if they brought him back, he must have clearly have done a pretty good job. The article also says, in the series finale of Arrow, Ramsey's John Diggle moved to Metropolis after finding an emerald ring, presumably the power ring worn by Green Lantern in the pages of DC Comics. There have been speculation that Diggle might return at some point as the Green Lantern, so stay tuned. And this is from David Ramsey himself. He says, I remain in awe of the imprint that these shows have had on television, and I've been blessed for the better part of a decade to be a part of them in front of and behind the camera. To say I'm excited beyond belief to return to the Berlantiverse would be an understatement. I can't wait to continue telling these stories, and neither can I, David Ramsey. First off, I'm glad that we're actually getting ourselves a black director in front of the camera, or behind the camera, I should say, once again giving David Ramsey the opportunity to shine, and the fact that they're picking him up to go ahead and direct 5 new episodes this year. Talk about leaps and bounds, man. So I love the fact that David Ramsey's leaving his imprint on the Arrowverse or Berlantiverse, however you certainly want to talk about it. But it is moments like this where I'm really fascinated to see how they're utilize John Diggle's character. You know, it's funny because I believe me and Stuart have talked about this before on A+ Hero Report. Remember, guys, live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Time. But me and Stuart did talk about this, because I believe, he has mentioned the idea of hopefully seeing maybe John Diggle return to be in the upcoming Superman and Lois show, considering the fact that, like this article stated, John Diggle has moved to Metropolis. So I think that would be really fantastic to see him have some type of role in that series going forward. But the fact that we're getting John Diggle in 5 episodes spread across 5 different seasons, 5 different shows, I am wondering if this is sort of like a mini story arc for John Diggle. And I am curious if it's going to be David Ramsey directing these 5 episodes that he's also going to be starring in. Now, they don't clarify that whatsoever. It just says he's going to be a guest star in 5 episodes and directing 5 episodes. So if I had to guess or assume, I would assume that David Ramsey is directing these himself. But for me, I really see just the potential of what this could be for the character. I've been hoping that we would see him in a Green Lantern costume. We didn't get the opportunity to see that at the end of Arrow, but they certainly teased the idea that he could in fact be a brand new Green Lantern himself. So maybe these 5 episodes is a part of a 5 episode arc for John Diggle to maybe eventually become sort of that Green Lantern, right? Maybe he eventually gets his suit at some particular point in time. The fact that they're saying he's a mystery character in Legends of Tomorrow maybe helps me lend to that idea that maybe we're getting a John Diggle as Green Lantern sighting in at least one of these episodes. So if they can manage to sprinkle John Diggle across the Arrowverse in one episode per show and then have them still maybe connect to one another, I think that would be great. But regardless, I'm glad that they're at least keeping the John Diggle character around. And listen, there are a couple of other characters from the Arrow show I certainly would love to see as well, to be perfectly honest with you. So we'll see exactly what type of impact David Ramsey certainly has here. But for me, I'm hoping that this turns out to be sort of like a five episode character arc for John Diggle to eventually see him wear or rock that Green Lantern suit at some particular point in time. But we'll see how they some of the story elements that they have planned for this. To stretch them across 5 episodes all throughout the entire Berlantiverse, I think is pretty cool. So hopefully, I think if for me, a couple other characters I would like to see pop up. Once again, Juliana Harkavy as a Black Canary, I think would be great if they could manage to bring her around once again. Heck, I'll even take Black Siren, to be honest with you also. And then maybe Mr. Terrific in there also. Maybe Black Lightning. I'm a little bit bummed that they're not even going to give David Ramsey the opportunity to be on Black Lightning, even though this is his last season. But listen, we've got a lot of shows that are either ending or actors that are certainly leaving. And so when you need more star power, if you will, bringing somebody in like David Ramsey as John Diggle once again to kind of maybe buffer some of those departures, I think would be great. Now, whether or not this leads to a John Diggle spin-off series or something of his own, that I certainly don't know. But we can certainly the Arrowverse, I should say, certainly could benefit from keeping some people around for quite some time. So who knows? Maybe John Diggle himself becomes a member of our Arrowverse Justice League at some point in time. So keep John Diggle around. I love this news. Congrats to David Ramsey for keeping a job and also stretching his legs when it comes to his directorial work. But ladies and gentlemen, listen, at the end of the day, though, these are just our A+ opinions. We certainly want to go ahead and know yours. And if anything, we probably will discuss this later on this upcoming weekend on A+ Hero Report, even further in depth. So definitely go ahead and look out for that. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, do me a big favor, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet. Hit that bell notification. And if you love our content, give us that big thumbs up, guys. Hit that like button if you certainly can. But in the meantime, guys, that will certainly do it for me here. So do me a big favor, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you this weekend. Keep it A+. I'll talk to you later. Bye.